Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite MMA sports betting channel, Bros Talk MMA. I'm your host, Utica, undeniably the illest cat around, aka Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. I'm here with my bro, host extraordinaire.
You know what it is. It's Ray Bucks. It's Chaco Jordan. It's Ray Mysterio Jr. I'm going to leave a couple of the other monikers out just because my last fight card, I did not feel like the parlay guy.
Well, I mean, I will say maybe in terms of, fight for fight, but you did call one parlay that was pretty dope. It was kind of like, a round prop parlay. You got that Christian Leroy Duncan, second round knockout.
All right, it's right. It's a parlay guy.
There you go, man. There you go. Real quick, before we get into the breakdown of our card this evening, let's go over that last card. Me and bro both went 8-3. We managed to agree on all the fights that night. There was 11 fights on the card. Originally, it was 9 before the 2 fights that dropped out got rescheduled with new opponents. We were able to call 8 out of the 11 fights. So, I'm going to take that. That's solid. That's solid. But today, we're here to break down the pay-per-view for this weekend. We got UFC 299. Sean O'Malley going up against Marlon Vera for the bantamweight title. 14 fights on the card. So let's start with the first one in the flyweight women's division. We got Joanne Wood going up against Maryna Moroz. Wood coming in at 16-8, 8-8 in the UFC, and 2-3 in her last 5. We got Moroz coming in at 11-5, 6-5 in the UFC, and 3-2 in their last 5. I'm going to be going with Moroz in this fight by either submission or decision. I just believe that they're the better grappler. They actually have more routes to victory in terms of being able to apply that grappling. They're going to be the more aggressive fighter. They actually have a win over Wood way early in their career, so I'm not going to say that 9 years ago is going to play any effect into this fight. But Moroz did win by submission, and that seems to be, even to this day, something that Wood struggles with in terms of how she loses fights primarily. So I'm going to be going with Moroz in this fight. Who you got winning?
I'm going to try to back off my old fighter hate folks who are a little up in years. And
Except for Jim Miller.
Except for Jim Miller. Jim Miller's going to be knocking out motherfuckers until he's 90. Shouts out Jim Miller. But I'm going to try to be easy, right? I'm going to go with Joanne Wood. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think she's the better striker out of the two. Moroz just pulls out of too many fights for me. We all know I'm a fan of pulling out, just not when it comes to fights. So that's who I'm going to go with. I don't think she has knockout power to knock out Moroz. I think this will be a fight by decision, but she'll just sit there and jab her to death.
Yeah, definitely. I do see this fight more so going to decision, but I guess Moroz has the higher probability of finishing the fight. But hey, may the best pick win. Let's go. Moving on, we got another flyweight bout in the men's division between CJ Vergara going up against Assu Almabaev. We got Vergara coming in at 12-4 overall, 3-2 in the UFC, and 3-2 in their last 5. We got Almabaev coming in at 18-2, 1-0 in the UFC, and they're currently on a 14-fight win streak. Me personally, I think that Almabaev's going to win this fight by either submission or decision, either by just dominant grappling display, or they'll submit Vergara eventually, maybe like late second round, early third round. Yeah, this somewhat feels like a showcase fight for Almabaev. But what I will say is they're putting him up against the right kind of fighter. Vergara is going to bring the fight to them, so it should, increase those chances of a finish. So, yeah, I'll be going with Almabaev, but who you got in this flyweight bout?
I've got to go with the guy who looks like a crime syndicate enforcer. Like the boss at the end of the movie who's not like quite the boss, but he's the biggest dude in the movie.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? He's going to like throw around John Wick or insert any movie hero here before they actually get to the boss, right?
Yeah.
This is the dude who like doesn't have a weapon, but just walks around with everybody and like everyone shuts the fuck up.
It's like the Jason Statham, but on the bad side.
Yeah.
You know,
and
one of those kind of
and it's funny
crony types,
right? And it's funny. It's funny I say that because he's a flyweight, but this dude looks bigger than what he is. I've got to go with that guy. He's just a better grappler. He's on a 14-fight win streak. He's 1-0 in the UFC, 18-2 in his pro record. I just don't see any reason why he loses this fight. I think this is a showcase fight. Let's get him moved up the standings, and luckily he's got a good opponent to showcase things against.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll both be going with Almabaev. Moving on, we have a heavyweight bout between Robelis Despaigne, one of the two, going up against Josh Parisian. Robelis is 4-0 overall. They're making their UFC debut. You got Parisian coming in at 15-7. They're 2-3 in the UFC and 2-3 in their last 5. I'm gonna be going with Despaigne. I believe that they're gonna get this done by KO. They're just gonna keep, rolling with the punches,
Nice.
And they're definitely gonna probably knock Parisian out. They set Despaigne up against somebody who's gonna bring the fight to them, and it's gonna make for a beautiful finish. I believe that Despaigne not only is gonna be the more powerful puncher, but they're gonna be the more aggressive fighter anyway. So they're gonna be looking to take off Parisian's head. The only thing I think that causes for worry is since they've only spent a total of 19 seconds in the cage in all 4 of their fights. If this fight were to somehow come out of the first round, then we'd have to see what their cardio looks like at that point. And even then, I still feel somewhat confident. I'm going to be going with Despaigne. Who you got?
Even though he looks like Cisco's older brother, like you just said, Robelis has been in the cage for 19 seconds through 4 fights. They've spent more time announcing this man's name in the cage than they have actually watching him fight. My man's MMA Tyson, KO King, a killer. Like, he's going to knock this dude out. This is just a showcase fight. This is just something to get the crowd ready and salivating.
Yep.
I think this is a first-round KO. Probably not even great odds on that because I think the odds makers probably know that. But that would be my bet. And I don't think there's much more to say.
Yeah. So we both got Despaigne. Moving on, we have a light heavyweight bout between Philipe Lins going up against Ilan Cutelaba. We got Lins coming in at 17-5, 3-2 in the UFC and 3-2 in their last 5. We got Cutelaba coming in at 17-9 with 1 no contest, 6-8 in the UFC and 2-3 in their last 5. I'm going to be going with Cutelaba in this fight. I just believe that they're going to be the aggressor. They're going to be more primed for a finish in this fight. And, I just feel like Lins, given their background, I mean, both these guys have had their fair share of fights canceled, but it feels like Lins is the one who's actually, like, pulling out of those fights more often than not. So I'll be going with Cutelaba. But who you got in this battle of the light heavyweights?
I've got to go with Philipe Lins. Generally, I do like the more aggressive, the finisher, right? I just think Lins is the bigger, stronger fighter. Do I think he's a killer? He's going to knock this dude out or submit this dude or any of those things above? Probably not. But I do think he's going to win by decision. I think he's going to point this man to death. And I think he's stronger than Cutelaba is. So I don't believe that Cutelaba is going to be able to really do anything with him.
Yeah, I feel you. Definitely would say that, Lens is live in this fight. But, yeah, I'll be going with Cutelaba in this one. May the best pick win. All right.
There's going to be a lot of handshakes tonight, just so you know.
Moving on, we have a middleweight bout between Michel Periera going up against Michal. That's hilarious. Michel versus Michal or Michael. Michael OJ. That's where we're gonna go with this one because I'd feel bad trying to do that. So we got Periera coming in at 29-11 and 2 no contests, 7-2 in the UFC. Currently, they're on a 6-fight winning streak. We got Mike OJ coming in at 19-6 with 1 no contest, 7-4 overall in the UFC, and 3-2 in their last 5. I'm gonna be going with Periera in this fight by either KO or decision. They used to be a pretty wild, just throwing all kinds of crazy spinning stuff, kind of fighter, gassing themselves early, trying to finish people early on in the fight. It seems like nowadays they're a little bit more composed and are willing to, take that fight to decision, but they still always carry that threat of a finish, whether on the feet or on the ground. Primarily, they're a stand-up fighter, though, so I believe they'll be the better striker in this fight with more routes to victory. Who do you got in this fight?
I've got to go with Periera, too. He, like you said, he does have more routes to victory. I think he is the better striker. I think and he's a shark in the cage. He waits until he smells blood in the water, and then he may get a little wild and strike for sure. But he's able to compose himself, like you said, which he was not able to do early on in his career. But I guess I got to take Man Bun over the Widow's Peak. So Periera for the win.
All right. So, yeah, we'll both be going with Periera in this fight. Next up, we have a bantamweight bout between Pedro Munhoz going up against Phillips. You got Munhoz coming in at 20-8 overall, 10-8 in the UFC, and 2-3 in their last 5. You got Phillips coming in at 11-2, 5-1 in the UFC, and 4-1 in their last 5. I'm going to be going with Phillips in this fight by decision. I just think that they're the younger fighter, very well-rounded, and, are just going to be able basically to just outlast Munhoz. I think this will definitely be a decision, but he'll just be able to just edge him just a tad bit more in the striking. I don't see this fight going to the ground. If it does, Phillips is more than capable to, hold his own, but Munhoz is, a killer on the ground as well, but they typically like to keep it standing up. So I'll be going with Phillips in this one. Who you got?
I believe Phillips belongs in a hair care commercial.
Do you like my hair?
Not in the cage. So I've got to go Munhoz. He's had better competition. Phillips is younger, but I've got to go Munhoz by decision, man. I just think he's, again, has had better comp to kind of associate to his losses. He's only been losing to killers. So,
you got Wood, you got Lenz, now you got Munhoz, babe.
Don't do like a who let the dogs out clip here.
No.
Give me like some DMX.
I'm gonna have to give you the who let the old folks out fucking. Yeah, this is you. Hey, you fucking lobbying for our elders today, bruh. Shit, I feel you. I mean, we're up there, so I understand it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my feelings, right?
That's what I'm saying, man. Shit, I was just saying, see you showing a lot of love for the older folks.
I mean, I said I was trying to be easy on what's that? Age discrimination.
Yeah. Well, it's good for you, man. I'm proud of you.
You know what I mean? Growing.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
but
man.
These motherfuckers lose, bro. Never again. Unless it's Jim Miller.
There you go. Jim Miller, man. Shit, that's what was due for, he's good for 1L. He's been whooping all these youngins' asses, but we'll see UFC 300. That's his next fight.
Oh, yeah.
Already. So, okay. Well, you'll be going with Munhoz. I'll be going with Phillips. May the best pick win.
God damn. Wow.
Moving on, we have a lightweight bout between Mateus Gamrot going up against Rafael dos Anjos. We got Gamrot coming in at 23-2 and 1 no contest. 6-2 in the UFC and 4-1 in their last 5. We got dos Anjos coming in at 32-15, 21-13 in the UFC and 3-2 in their last 5. I'm going to be going with Gamrot in this one. This is just one of those situations where these guys are kind of somewhat a mirror image of each other, but Gamrot's just on the younger end of the spectrum somewhat, not by too much, and their cardio is just way better. Dos Anjos, staple of the division, UFC in general, but I just think that their time is past. So I'll be going with Gamrot. Who you got in this one?
First off, let me say that these two look like two crooked cops that are about to fight each other. They both kind of got like shitty mustaches with like kind of that 5 o'clock shadow because they've been drinking. They're getting ready to like plant drugs on people. But that being said, I'm going to go Gamrot. I'm going to go Gamrot by decision. I think he's got better cardio. I think he'll take Dos Anjos into deep water. Gamrot's a wrestling machine. I just don't think Dos Anjos has the same kind of cardio that he did early on in his career. He has had a gas tank. I don't think he has the gas tank to keep up now.
Yeah, same thing with me. I just think that, Gamrot will have better cardio. They're a wrestling machine, They're like a lightweight, Moroz.
Yes,
they're just
absolutely.
Constantly, go shooting for takedowns, and once they get you down, they stick to you. Mm-hmm. Like they just, you can't get them off.
And they're just putting all their weight on you.
Yeah,
they're working enough for the referee not to break it up, but like really they're just wearing you out until they can pick apart whatever sub or ground and pound they want to do.
Mm-hmm. You also got Dos Anjos moving down from welterweight. They had recently just took an L from Vicente Luque in the welterweight division, so they're coming back down. Cutting weight can't be easy at this stage in their career.
15 pounds, my bro.
Yeah, so I'll be going with Gamrot in this one. But moving on, we got the prelims still continued. We got flyweight bout between Katlyn, formerly Chukagian, now Ceminara, going up against Maycee Barber. You got Ceminara coming in at 18-5 overall, 11-5 in the UFC, and 3-2 in their last 5. Maycee Barber is 13-2 overall, 8-2 in the UFC, and are currently on a 5-fight winning streak. I'm gonna be going with Barber in this fight by decision. They're gonna be the younger, more aggressive fighter, more active fighter. Ceminara, as you can see with the name change, just recently got married and is, been enjoying that lifestyle here recently. So they're just getting back into the mix of things, but they are the gatekeeper basically to a title shot most times because they are literally the person who's ranked below the champion most times. And even though they've never been able to win the title, they have never lost to contenders under them either. So you got Ceminara, definitely could, be the spoiler to Barber's party. But I definitely got Barber in this one. I think it's just her time now to at least vie for that title, if not potentially be the next champion. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Macy Barber as well. She's just on a heater right now. 5-fight win streak.
It's just Barber's time. It's time to get the division, starting to rotate. So, I think Barber's gonna take this one.
Barber just fought Amanda Ribas in June.
I think also the X factor in this fight is the grappling.
Yes.
If Barber decides to apply some grappling and is able to actually, execute it, it'll be a long night for Ceminara. But Ceminara could potentially just keep Barber at bay with the jab and, it'd just be a long point fight going in Ceminara's direction. But I'm going with Barber. I just think that they're going to make this one dirty, or they'll manage to find a finish somehow.
Also, shouts out to Barber for fighting out of Colorado. Hometown is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but she's currently fighting out of Fort Collins. Apparently, I need to start shouting out like people who are actually fighting out of Colorado.
I was going to say, you feeling the pressure after the Royval win?
I'm feeling the pressure, bro. Like,
what did you say, nigga?
I felt so. I feel bad still, kind of, but like not really because, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, Moreno should have won. He didn't do what he was supposed to. I'm saying, but like as far as like the way the numbers worked out and stats and all that great stuff, I don't, you know what I mean? I stand on business.
I got you. Well, so we'll both be going with Barber. Moving on, last fight of the prelims, we got a heavyweight bout between Curtis Blaydes going up against Jailton Almeida. We got Blaydes coming in at 17-4 overall. 12-4 in the UFC and 3-2 in their last 5. We got Almeida coming in at 20-2, 6-0 in the UFC, and they're currently on a 15-fight win streak. I'm going with Blaydes in this fight, however. I just believe that in terms of fighting in the heavyweight division, they're going to be the bigger, more powerful fighter. And being that they do have some wrestling, I think that it's going to be a lot harder than Almeida is anticipating to take Blaydes down and just, either ground and pound him or submit him like he has to most of his opponents in the past, even the ones who have been heavier than him. I just feel like Blaydes is built a little bit differently than the heavyweights that Almeida's faced. He's actually a light heavyweight who's moved up to heavyweight. So he's going to be the leaner of the two fighters, but I just think that just big body of Blaydes is just going to be a little bit much for Almeida to just go in there, scoop up, and just, fucking punch out or choke out, to victory. And I don't see them being able to go to decision with Blaydes. So I think Blaydes is going to take this one by decision. Who you got?
I've got Almeida. I think this is just a classic bout of speed versus power. Speed being on Almeida's side, power being on Blaydes' side. And Almeida is quick as fuck. Like, he's just fast. And I think he also has a good ability to slip punches as well. And so I don't think necessarily that Blaydes is going to be able to hit him with those big bombs. So I think if he's able to kind of dodge those, and Almeida can just stick and move, I think Almeida wins this fight. I think it's a decision fight, possibly a third round sub for Almeida, because again, he's not hitting him with the bombs that Curtis Blaydes is hitting him with. He's going to need to move around the cage. He's going to, you know what I mean, have some really active footwork, really active slips, feints, and counters. So I don't see him knocking out Blaydes. He could submit him in the deep water just because Blaydes may be worn out because he is the bigger fighter. But that's kind of how I see it.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just like Blaydes isn't like got any submissions, never been submitted. But at the same time, like I know that they do have some wrestling prowess, so I just think that that's something that they're going to have to apply more so in this fight. And for Almeida, I think it's just going to be harder for them to actually apply that, than they have in past fights with other opponents. So, yeah.
Hey, shout out Curtis Blaydes, you know what I mean, fighting out of elevation out here in Colorado.
All right, well, moving on to the main card. We are going to be starting things out with a bantamweight bout between Petr Yan going up against Song Yadong. We got Yan coming in at 16-5 overall, 8-4 in the UFC, and 1-4 in their last 5. You got Yadong coming in at 21-7 with 1 no contest, 1 disqualification. 4-1 in the UFC and 4-1 in their last 5. Man, this one is really tough to call. Not gonna lie at all. I'll probably be flip-flopping on this fight, but if you had to make me choose somebody who's gonna win, I'm gonna choose Yan in this fight. I think they'll win by decision. I just think they'll be the better striker and will probably point fight their way to victory. Just kind of, get themselves somewhat reestablished in the division, try and like wipe the slate clean, get back in the win column, and have like a credible opponent to do it with, so that they can start making that climb back to the title picture. So yeah, I'll be going with Yan in this one, but let's go ahead and sound the alarm. Song Yadong is definitely a live dog in this fight, though.
Why didn't I get my sound alert for Jailton Almeida?
Well, nigga, you sound your own alarms in this motherfucker, nigga. Your dog's not mine.
Wow.
Well, what do I look like picking Moroz and sounding off the live dog alert for Joanne Wood, and I do not believe she's going to win.
Just put it in my live dog
alert,
do not
believe Philipe Lins is going to win. Okay, I'll say that Munhoz is probably another fight. Him and Phillips is another fight where I would sound that alarm if I was going for Munhoz. But since you were going with Munhoz, I just felt, wasn't my place to sound the let the dogs bark in that particular, instance. But hey, I just think that
dog barker.
I just think we're all responsible for sounding our own alerts on this show. All right.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
And I ain't even going with Song Yadong. But
so you're sounding alerts that aren't even for the ghosts.
You're not going with them either.
I'm not.
So I'm just putting it out there, as in terms of just being like impartial, outside of my pick, because this is one of the hardest ones to call on the card.
I've got to agree with you, yeah, for sure. I'm going to also go with Petr Yan as well. I think there's going to be no mercy for the Kung Fu Kid. See what I did there?
Huh?
Is that his fucking middle? Is that his nickname?
It's No Mercy, Peter Yan. No Mercy, Peter Yan versus the Kung Fu Kid. It's going to be No Mercy for the Kung Fu Kid.
Okay. I didn't see what you did there, but my apologies.
No, bro. Anyway, Yan by decision, better striker.
He's okay. My bad. So, yeah. I did not know that. Song's nickname was the Kung Fu Kid. My bad.
Wow.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Carry on.
You know what I mean? The people on the interwebs will respect it. It's all good. Anyway, Peter Yan by decision, better striker. Let's go on and move on to the next fight.
All right, moving on. We got a welterweight bout between Gilbert Burns going up against Jack Della Maddalena. We got Burns coming in at 22-6, 15-6 in the UFC, and 3-2 in their last 5. You got Maddalena coming in at 16-2, 6-0 in the UFC, and they're currently on a 16-fight win streak. I'm gonna be going with Maddalena by decision or KO. Excuse me. I just think that they're going to be the younger fighter, better striker. I've been watching Gilbert Burns leading up to this fight. He looks like he's worn. He just looks like this is just, taking a toll on him. I feel like if he's not able to apply some grappling early on in the fight, then it's just going to be him getting jabbed either, into submission and just finding themselves with a KO finish by Maddalena, or just point fighted to a decision loss. So I'm gonna be going with Maddalena in this one, decision or KO. Who are you going with?
I got it with Jack Della Maddalena as well. 16 fight win streak. He's a younger fighter. He's a better striker. Gilbert Burns, no disrespect to Gilbert Burns, has had a great career. Just at this point, looks like he's fighting for a check. I think he is, like as you said, is a little worn out, and his heart isn't necessarily in it as it was early on in his career. Gilbert Burns was, an amazing fighter, and still is an amazing fighter. I just don't think he has it in him anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. I also just feel like different lifestyles as well too. Like Burns is super family man. I mean, literally between trainings, he's going and picking up his kids from school and stuff like that. Like he has very long, full days every day, especially when training's involved. So yeah, he's just up there in age. I think his window for title contention possibly is past. But, I feel like their only route to victory really is possibly trying to get Maddalena to the ground. And I just don't know if that's going to be able to happen. So, we'll be going with Maddalena on this one. Moving on, we have a welterweight bout between Kevin Holland going up against Michael Page, or Michael Venom Page, MVP. We got Holland coming in 25-10 overall, 12-7 in the UFC, and 2-3 in their last 5. We got Michael Page making their UFC debut. They're 21-2 overall and 4-1 in their last 5. Holland, I think Holland's going to win this fight by decision. I just think that UFC experience and just their strength of schedule is ultimately what's going to, kind of just like help them welcome Page to the UFC, but just kind of humble him, let him know like, hey, you're in the big boy leagues now. Don't get me wrong, Michael Venom Page is fucking a killer and like a highlight reel. He's just a human highlight reel. But I ultimately think that, once you hit the UFC, you gotta dial it in and, be a little more calculated. Not to say that Page isn't calculated, but their strikes are a lot more flashier. And I just think that Holland's going to be able to apply more routes to victory rather even if they have to like kind of lean on Page or take him to the ground.
Yeah. Holland's going to definitely be more poised of the two fighters. Again, like you said, Michael Page will be throwing flashy shots, spinning shots, you know what I mean, Superman punches, wildness.
Especially for the debut.
Is entertaining. You know what I mean? Obviously, everybody likes that. But a seasoned UFC fighter like Kevin Holland is going to pick that shit apart. So, and this is his debut. You know what I mean? And Kevin Holland has 19 fights in the UFC. I think the experience is there. I don't think Kevin Holland is necessarily on a slide. He may be middle of the road in the UFC right now, but Michael Page is at the beginning of that road. So I don't think he's going to be able to overcome Kevin Holland at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Page is like well into their 30s too, so I think that this is just more so like a money prize fight, you know, kind of just to showcase the new, you know, the new fighter to the roster, known for just having, you know, flashy KOs and stuff like that, not necessarily looking at them to enter into the title picture, but who knows? You know, if they have a good showing, you know, they could also find themselves being fast-tracked to, you know, the welterweight title as well. But I just think Holland's just too seasoned and, you know, has something to prove on their, you know, in their own right. And like you said, they're only losing the killers. They're not losing the fucking, you know,
absolutely
bums or anything like that. And, you know, they may be a victim of their own goodwill, you know, being that company man willing to take those fights on short notice.
Absolutely.
And, you know, things like that. So, yeah, be going with Holland in this one. Up next, we got the co-main event. It's a lightweight bout between Dustin Poirier going up against Benoit Saint-Denis. We got Poirier coming in at 29-8 with 1 no contest. 21-7 in the UFC and 3-2 in their last 5. We got Saint-Denis coming in at 13-1, 5-1 in the UFC, and they're currently on a 5-fight win streak. I'm going to be going with Poirier in this fight. I just believe that they're still just a seasoned vet who they're not going to, you know, just let some aggressive, just super powerful dude come in and just knock them out. You know, they got knocked out by Gaethje here recently by head kick, but that's just too. That was just a really dope striking match. Whereas I think Benoit Saint-Denis is just gonna come out reckless, you know, trying to kill fucking Poirier, and Poirier is just gonna box him out. I just think Poirier's boxing is going to be real nice. They'll have some decent takedown defense. And ultimately, I think that they'll weather the storm and be able to put Saint-Denis out by, you know, just late finish or ultimately winning by decision. So, yeah, I'll be going with Poirier.
I've got to say that the God of War is going to crush diamonds this fight.
I got that one.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I've got to go with Saint-Denis. Younger fighter, 13-1, 5-fight win streak. He's on a heater right now. No disrespect to Dustin Poirier. He was in a war with Gaethje, which I believe ran a bunch of tread off of those tires. And Saint-Denis he's on his way up. Great fighter. I think Saint-Denis a better grappler than Poirier. Poirier being the better striker. But as we know, wrestlers beat strikers. if they're at that kind of same skill level. So I've got to go with Saint-Denis on this one. Poirier is damn near impossible to knock out. He just doesn't give up either. So I would say this is sub-decision. I'm leaning more towards decision. This is just going to be a war, and it's going to be a great fight.
Well, allow me to sound my live dog alert. I do believe that Poirier is one of the liver dogs on this card. Like I said, I just think if they're able to keep things on the feet, I think they have a good enough ground defense to be able to keep things on the feet. And then once again, if they're able to weather the storm that Saint-Denis is going to put on early on, I feel like eventually they'll be able to chop away at their cardio and just, start to pick them apart as the fight goes on. So I'll be going with Poirier. You got Saint-Denis. And the best pick win.
Hey, this is going to be an interesting episode next week, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. This is going to separate a lot of things here very, very soon.
Right? Because we differ by 4 fights currently.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a chance you might one up your boy at this point.
Yeah. It's either I'm going to fucking, pull things in or you're going to...
Whoa there, bud.
Actually, that just sounds like...
I'm about to pull on away, my guy.
Yeah, that felt like a pause waiting to happen, so...
Yeah.
Pause.
Never mind. But, yeah, good job so far with your picking.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah, what's that?
Hey, shout out the homie at your company, too, who's like, I'm start picking with your brother and not you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's all good. I understand. Let's see here. So, yeah, moving on, we are at the main event of the evening. We got the bantamweight title on the line. We got Sean O'Malley going up against Marlon Vera. We got O'Malley coming in at 17-1, 9-1 in the UFC, and they're currently on a 5-fight win streak. We got Vera coming in at 23-8 and 1 no contest, 15-7 in the UFC, and 4-1 in their last 5. I'm going to be going with Vera in this fight. I just believe that that last fight between them about like 4 years ago, I feel like there's still a lot there that can be, looked at going into this fight. And one of those things is Sean O'Malley's leg durability. I don't believe that it was just, by luck that Vera was able to catch that nerve in their calf to give them drop foot, and then they weren't able to really stand up the rest of the fight. I actually think, if anything, Vera might try and expose that even more going into this fight. Not in the sense of just like, I think I can just win the same way I won last time, but knowing that that's a thing, I'm just going to let your legs have it. And you can't throw all those, counter shots and, apply that striking as well when your legs are fucking beat to shit. So I just think that that's what Vera can do. And even too, could weaken those legs enough to then start applying some grappling, get O'Malley to the ground and kind of end things similarly, or just, dominate them to a decision victory. But I do have Vera winning by either KO or sub. O'Malley, although a very dangerous striker and could, catch Vera, I just believe Vera's going to apply pressure and not really give O'Malley that opportunity. Even though Vera can be a slow starter at times, I think that they're not looking at this fight in terms of, I'm going in there to try and find a way to win. I think they actually want to beat O'Malley's ass. So I'll be going with Vera in this fight.
I'm with you. Also on the live dog alert for Marlon Vera.
Thank you.
Yeah. Apparently we're doing that now. I don't want my dog alert to sound like your dog alert. I want my dog alert to be like DMX, my guy. Like,
I'll get you good dog.
No, if you hit me with the who let the dogs out bullshit, I'm not having it. Okay?
Don't worry, bro. I'm gonna take care of you.
Don't have Diesel bark. You know what I mean? He's got this little tiny dog. I want to hear his little bullshit ass bark. No little chihuahuas out here barking.
I got you, dog.
Like,
Got you, DMX.
solid bark. Not that. Anyway, Marlon Vera. Again, he is the only man in the UFC to have beat Sean O'Malley, right?
Yes.
He has a route to victory already. There is a subconscious thing in the back of O'Malley's head saying, be careful when he kicks my fucking leg.
Yep.
Look down. Keep watching his leg. Make sure he doesn't kick my shit. Which leaves him open to, I believe, takedowns. Leaves him open for other routes to victory. And I think that Vera does have those additional routes to victory. Sean O'Malley is an amazing striker. Sean O'Malley is not a grappler.
To be totally honest, I feel like Sean O'Malley got away with his last fight. I think that had Sterling applied the game plan that he should have, which was just take this man to the ground, wrap him up, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
But he wanted to fucking play with him, let his ego get in the way a little bit, wanted to make things entertaining, salute to Sterling. I thought Sterling was a great champion, but that was just poor fight IQ.
It was absolutely ego, right? I'm gonna stand and I'm gonna beat you at your own game, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. If your game, if you can win at your game on your terms, win on your terms.
Exactly.
Do not go to the other person's
path
terms.
of least resistance.
Absolutely, that's some Bruce Lee shit right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see Chito over Sugar all day. I think this is another great live dog. I don't think there's much more to say. I'm really excited for this fight card. I think this is one of the better fight cards that we've seen. And maybe they're just trying to build up the anticipation for 300. But I think they've done a really good job on this particular one for sure.
Yeah. Looks like we're both going with Vera. So that concludes our picks and predictions portion of this fight card. Moving on into the betting portion. Moving on into the betting portion of the show, we're just going to go over some real quick live dogs, dark horses for lineups. I would definitely say that the live dogs on this card go Joanne Wood, Philip Lins, Pedro Munhoz, Jailton Almeida, Song Yadong, and Dustin Poirier and Marlon Vera. I would say that in terms of lineups, you definitely want to put Almeida in there, just for the grappling. If he gets his grappling on, he's gonna fucking net a bunch of points, and you're gonna get him at great value. I definitely would probably put Poirier, Vera in there, just based on the fact that they're gonna have 5-round fights. So that's gonna be, nice and lengthy. Should be an opportunity to get points if you do put one of those fighters in your lineup. Parlay picks. I'll start things off. I'm gonna go with a 4-pick parlay. I got Almabaev, Periera, Gamrot, Della Maddalena, and if you want to spice things up, I'm gonna put Marlon Vera on top of that. Who you got?
You know what? That's a great parlay in my opinion. You know what I mean? Coming from the parlay god.
Thank you, parlay god.
Hey, I do what I can. I think keeping all your picks, including your spicy pick. Do I want your fucking spicy pick? Hell yeah, I want your spicy pick. And then we're gonna put Macy Barber on top of that. So you got a 4-pick parlay. Spicy 5.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a 5-pick parlay, which is basically his spicy 5. And then the 6 is going to be Barber on top of that. And I don't see any reason why Macy Barber loses to Katlyn Ceminara.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way, but I've also felt that way whilst watching Ceminara beat the shit out of the person that I bet against them with. So I'm just going to leave that one alone.
I got you.
Well, let's see here. Just a quick note while we got him here. Ray, currently after the last event, Ray Bucks is 53-30 all-time in picks. Myself, Utica, is 49-34 in all-time picks. I'll have a graphic up letting you know the percentages on that. I don't want to look that up right now, but
and that's starting from the first fight card of the year till this moment.
Yep. So, I'd say you're doing well. You're doing a little bit better, but hey.
And hopefully he puts the percentages of what that is.
That's what I just said that, nigga.
Oh. Damn. You're giving me? You're so aggressive with me right now.
Apologies. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just a little salty because I'm 49-34 at the moment.
I get it. I mean,
not all of us can be 53-30. And that, I want to apologize to anybody who's been put off by our numbers. I was trying to pad my stats. I gave myself one extra win than I actually had. So after we, combed through all the fight cards, we came to find out that I was not 50-34. I was actually only 49-34. So my apologies, folks. But yeah, everything's good now. That's
players
what we
fuck
do.
up sometimes.
Thank you. What he said.
Thanks, Pally.
But yeah, once again, this concludes another episode of Bros Talk MMA. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment on the channel. Make sure you follow us at Bros Talk MMA on Instagram. You can follow Ray Bucks here at r1.mason, and you can follow me at Utica_SME. Shout outs to everybody that's been watching. We really appreciate all the support. Be on the lookout for some newer pieces of content that we have set to release. And yeah, please let us know if there's anything that you want to see more of or see in general that hasn't been done yet. And if you know anybody who would like to, come shoot the shit on these fights or is in the fight game themselves, make sure that you email brostalkmma303@gmail.com. And yeah, once
again, put the money bag in the chat if I got you the bag.
There you go. I'm your host, Utica, undeniably the illest cat around, a.k.a. Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. Here with my bro, host extraordinaire.
It's Ray Bucks. It's Chico Jordan. It's Ray Mysterio Jr. It is the Parlay God, Black Moses, Black Jesus.
Yes, indeed.
Y'all know what it is.
Until next time, we will see y'all again. Happy betting, and hope you enjoy the fights this weekend. We out.